Another podcast, another video.
Absolutely. And today we are touching base on building authority by using events.
Yeah, because events, we find it very important in the sales funnel that we have, that you as a salesperson or as a business owner, that you have actually kind of a present or something to offer for your prospects, for your leads, maybe even a little bit for clients or former clients, that you have something for them so they can join you.
It's all about being visible. So you're on the stage telling something about the market and something of value, and offering it to the audience. That can be prior clients, but also future clients.
Yeah, so for the sales, we use it very often. We for ourselves have a lot of events that we're using. But the beneficial aspect of it is that you build an authority because you're hosting an event. It means you have some content to share, the value, what you were saying. You have, it's very often said that if you have content to share, that you need to be an expert because you know what you're talking about, and that you can share that with your market, your relations, your network.
Yeah, it's and one step further than what you used to have, the download and the checklist.
Sure.
And now with the technological things are available more easily now than they used to. You can hold a webinar or you can do all kinds of online events.
That's an interesting one because in events, if you state it like this, I would be thinking immediately like a huge trade fair or a congress with a lot of speakers, huge stages, etc. But we see events in actually everything that you organize with more than 3 people, you can see as an event.
Yes, and it depends on where they are in the sales funnel, of who you invite and for what. If it's an offline event, it's more expensive, but maybe if you've got a very valuable product that is it's not an issue, because if you make a sale, it covers the whole cost of the event. So
I remember a long time ago, it was even before we started our organization, you had the trade fairs. One very important part of that was that you could get more people towards your stand and that you would be able to sell more. So instead of trying to get people to your organization or to your shop, what kind of shop it would be, you had the trade fair, and there you could make deals with many more people. So the volume aspect is also, of course, now should you choose for an offline event, what you were saying, costs are higher, but if you can combine that with more volume, and then the chances of getting more clients out of that one event are, of course, also bigger.
But times change. So everybody, if there's an offline fair, let's say it like that, it's much more beneficial. We see to be there as a speaker than to be on a stand. The stand is only there for if you do additional activities to get people to your stand. But just being there is not mere. Is not taking you there where it used to be.
No, true. So if you look at it in how do you build authority, what kind of activities would you be doing, that actually having a stand on a trade fair, you're saying, well, it's a lot of our clients always say, but we have to be there because the competition is there as well. But it doesn't say that much anymore about your authority. Should you be able to be a speaker or host a workshop, you have many events that also have workshops, that puts you immediately on a little bit, the next level in creating the authority. So
you're on the stage, and there are a lot of trade shows which are really looking for speakers. But then you have to be presentable, and you have to have a nice story. So you need to make some preparations for that. but it is always really fun to do.
Yeah.
And being on the stage, telling something about which is valuable for them, so that the branch, where is the branch going to, what are the new developments, what are the pitfalls for a lot of entrepreneurs or business owners. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Okay, so now we talked about the bigger fairs or an offline event. You indicated earlier, has a lot of budget in it. What we always say is that if you use it as a part in your sales funnel, it needs to have a continuity. So once a year, and even in budget, once a year is always quite huge. So then you faster go to the small kind of events, small workshop, or the online events.
Also with authority, there needs to be a certain frequency in how many times people see you, because before they see you as an authority. If you are, that's also an advertising strategy, but you need to, they need to keep on seeing you very frequently.
Okay, but then we have webinars, we have roundtables, etc.
It's all online. So.
It is all online, true. If you look at then and in the building of the authority, your own webinar, your own roundtable, it depends whether you've roundtable, you can't have too many people. If you have a webinar with hundreds of people there, then it also says something about your authority. So the authority is not only in organizing events, webinars, online, offline, whatever, but it's also the number of people who will be there. Because if you join a webinar on a well-known platform, then it creates authority because, oh wow, that platform is offering this and the speaker, so it builds on your authority. Or that you have many people there. Sorry, what?
No. It's completely true. I was thinking about the webinar setup, so that it's one to many, so there's no interaction. They just can listen and experience your story, your authority.
Yeah. So the interaction is only in the chat.
Yeah, but if you host a round table where there is interaction between all participants. That's really nice to do. That's a different approach for a smaller group, but maybe it puts you again on the stage as being the authority.
Yeah. So, since 2020, you saw that there was a huge growth in webinars.
Yeah.
I think it has settled a little bit. It's not growing massively. It's not slowing down massively. There is a little bit of a sort of a hybrid model coming. The trade fairs have been coming and going again, and the online versions are visible now. If you then look at it in the authority kind of way, so it still is it your own event, and it's number of people who were there, or it is also part of a strategy, right? What you do as an organization. Either organize it yourself or that you have the goal for the coming months to participate in a couple of external activities.
Yeah, and that's something you need to. That's actually a structural part of your sales and marketing activities. That you have that agenda for the next months.
For at least a year, I guess.
For at least a year, because certainly trade shows are, you want to be there as soon as possible. Yeah. It needs to be fixed. They also need to, let's say, advertise on for you, because you are going to just make some preparations for it.
Sure.
And some agreements. Okay, how many people? Because it's for you, of course, to be there, but also the trade show, the organization needs to make some promises on that.
So, building authority, it's not one event, but it's events. With an S,
absolutely,
so it's multiple.
Yeah.
It's looking for yourself, okay, are you going to host an own webinar or an online event or whatever, how you're going to call it, or are you going to participate somewhere, and then also the offline. So it's actually together with your marketing department that you need to make a calendar. Or if you're a small business owner, that you make the calendar for yourself. I think the main thing is that you decide for yourself that you want to do it, that you realize how much your sales activities can benefit by just showing up. And I am aware that for a lot of people, they think, well, who's waiting for me? Or I'm not expert enough to be talking about this kind of subject. It's also part of a step to overcome.
Yeah, that mental lack, actually, thinking I'm not good enough is really something that you need to be aware of it.
Or who's waiting for my content? I don't have that many interesting things to discuss.
Yeah. Well, that's, I think it is a totally different topic that we can pay attention to next week or the week after. But
stepping into the authority building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, putting yourself out there as an authority has to do with online events, but really make sure that you also multiply or actually accelerate those events by advertising, for example. If you are a speaker somewhere, use it. Yeah. Really, do retargeting. Do put your own network in a certain area. Inform them.
So it's not only advertising then. So it's advertising. It's informing your own network through your LinkedIn activities. It's informing your own email list by sending them an email, inviting them to the event. What else do we have? You said the advertising, then social media, mentioning in email.
It was top of mind because I had an invitation for a certain event and I saw it only once. His personal email, hey, I'm speaking then and then, was not in my area. Okay, that happens. But there was also somebody else who did it, and immediately after I went to the landing page, I saw him on all kinds of the CNN or in retargeting ads. And it's really, he's talking about that and that and that.
So just to clarify for all our listeners, retargeting advertisements is when you've been on a web page and through your cookies you get an advertisement during a certain period after visiting that page, reminding you that you still have some unfinished business on that page.
Yeah, because you're already targeting them, they are your ideal audience.
Yeah.
So what greater way to pay personal attention to them by inviting them, and then with advertising, retargeting, reminding them that you are the expert.
So, true. So you don't only have the event itself then.
No.
For building the authority, but also in the reminders that. And then it's all about visibility. Oh wow, he's really busy. He's really operating it. I see him now everywhere. So that's a mind thing. Then immediately you put someone on a higher level of authority just because you've seen that person a couple of times.
Yeah, and if you're thinking of doing it, well, first work with a good agency. Second. The trade fair organization, which is handling and the whole event, you can put them also in charge of that retargeting, because normally there are their landing pages, but you can demand, if I will be speaking on your event, then I need to promote myself, the event in a certain way.
Yeah.
That is something that is...
make it a cooperation between you and the event.
Yeah, these are the ads.
Yeah,
these are...
using each other's networks instead of doing one and one makes three.
Yeah.
Okay. So events, very important one. Take it into your schedule, step into it, and just have fun with it.
Yeah, volume. Hey, have a great day.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Bye-bye.